Hey everybody, hope we're doing well. Welcome back to a very special episode of CSGO News. As always, time markers for every story is down below for you. I just got done with over an hour-long interview with Zuri. That will be out hopefully in a couple days for all of you. I hope you all enjoy this episode. And our first story today has to do with a very sketchy subject out there. We've been talking about gambling a lot in this past few days, and I want to talk more about it as this Swedish kid on screen right now, allegedly 12 years old, maybe younger, maybe a little bit older, has been sponsored by several gambling websites. Now, there are several kids or children out there as of right now who have popular YouTube channels who are similarly sponsored by websites like CSGO, ATSI, other websites as well, who are giving these kids money to actually gamble on their YouTube videos. And obviously my problem with this is a lot of the YouTube audiences are going to also be fellow children and young audiences of probably around 12 years old. Now this kid is actually Swedish. I'll show you clips on screen right now of some of his intros. And yes, we have several gambling websites sponsoring these children to promote gambling. Now again, not many people know about this because there's smaller channels out there, but I think it's incredible to actually find this story, this kind of thing out there. As I run the clip for all of you guys, here are some intros he's done on his YouTube channel of this younger kid promoting gambling to other younger kids. You have to assume as of right now his audience is going to be other kids. I think it's absolutely incredible. Websites out there will actually give this kid $20 or $5 to gamble on their website just for promoting their own brand name. It's kind of ridiculous. I wanted to touch on this, so here are a few clips of that on screen right now.
Så välkomna ska ni vara tillbaka i en helt video här på min kanal. I alla fall idag så är vi inne på CSGO, ATSI med
I mean, what does this world come to now? Obviously, he's been gambling with these videos for quite some time. I just think it's incredible that it's actually legal for these gambling sites out there to intentionally promote to younger children or even reach out to them for sponsorships. I mean, they're obviously paying them with on-site credits. They can't pay them with real-life money. I'm not sure that's obviously that should break some kind of legal context. I actually just got done talking to some other gamblers out there. Now, we do know as of right now, there are several popular gamblers themselves who are underage, 16, 17-year-olds who have much larger followings, also promoting to children. But the main problem here is, can actual gambling corporations sponsor or pay underage kids to then go out and do underage things they're not legally allowed to do? It's a very sketchy topic. I wanted to touch on that. What do you guys think about this? Underage gamblers promoting gambling to other underage gamblers. It's just a whole sketchy topic to talk about. Now, moving on though, we do have the alleged NiKo Buyout, actually according to a website. I'll leave it down in the description of the article for all of you. I thought a very well-written article which came out. Apparently they knew FaZe, they knew actual personnel close to FaZe, Esports, I believe, NiKo. They actually allegedly said his buyout was around $500,000. For all of you who are wondering, it was actually negotiated down. It was originally over $1 million for the buyout and negotiated apparently down to around $500,000. Although, one problem with this, we actually had a former Mouz sports manager say this article was crappily written and not informing anyone about accurate information. But as of right now, we have to assume his buyout was around $500,000, which is one of the largest buyout contracts we've seen so far in 2017, allegedly compared to the Envyus guys in the French shuffle over there. Now, moving on from this, we also have even bigger news. You guys can see in the thumbnail, we have Happy Betrayal of Ex6tenz in another interview out there. I'm going to link this article down below for all of you. He came out in an interview where a website actually went ahead and asked him about his tweet. I'll show you on screen right now. We saw this tweet quite a long time ago where he tweeted at RBK and said, really guys, like what is this all about? This accordingly, actually eventually one or 2 weeks before the actual French shuffle happened, and people wondered, was Ex6tenz supposed to play with RBK? Now allegedly, according to Happy was going to go play with Ex6tenz, maybe RPK involved with that, and eventually it fell through. Happy goes on to say that, yeah, I was supposed to go play with Ex6tenz, but things worked out how they did. I just wish things went a little smoother. So yes, accordingly in the French shuffle, we're not really sure if Happy was going to go to LDLC or if Ex6tenz was going to go up and play for Envyus again, but as of right now, a little betrayal there in the French scene, and obviously money kind of played a big factor in that. If an organization wants this player, they're going to pay him, they're going to pay you. Obviously, you're going to go and take that bigger offer. So maybe Ex6tenz couldn't offer enough to the team, or maybe no organization wanted Ex6tenz as a part of that French shuffle. So that was the happy betrayal for all of you. And now on to our bigger stories. We're going to talk to all of you about the roster changes that have been happening. Several teams have roster changed. So Ricky, a former opera, I think for Team Immunity, I could be wrong there. I don't know too much about Ricky and his background. I remember though a long time ago, several months ago, being traded over to RNG or Renegades, that is. Now for DreamHack Las Vegas, they have changed him out. As of right now, he's on the bench, and it should be a permanent move here as they've added Swedish player who was formerly a teammate of Michael Lely on Team QWERTY. That is Adder. Many of you guys have known this Swedish name for quite some time now. He is now on the Renegades roster and will be for DreamHack Las Vegas. Now moving on, Space Soldiers have also officially added Calyx to their roster, which is kind of unique because Space Soldiers moving forward will have 6 members. Their roster on screen right now for all of you. Kind of interesting as well because Major was a trial member. They also signed him. So they have 6 full-time players, and he said moving forward they're going to consult their coach, and the coaches and staff there will choose which 5 players do play. Now obviously Xantares and a lot of that solid roster will be playing. I think as of right now it's going to be competition between Calyx and Major, who's going to be that 5th member spot for Space Soldiers, the Turkish team moving forward. Now lastly, we do have the CLG one-hit wonder star Subroza finally leaving the roster for unreported reasons. As of right now, CLG has not replaced him. I can tell you all that right now, CLG is struggling roster, not only apart from the fact they lost Hayes 2 months ago, but now you lose Subroza, probably not a big hit for the roster, but as of right now, they have yet to replace him. So CLG looking for a 5th member. Who's it going to be? No speculation as of right now, but it should be signed sometime soon for this ESL Pro League continuing next week as well. So after Dream at Las Vegas, we have ESL Pro League starting back up after our week break, and those are in short team roster changes for all of you. And now on to our very last story of CSGO news of the day. I do apologize for the rushed episode. I have to go stream. I've been doing very, very busy, and I have a very big interview announcement sometime soon in the future for all of you, as well as some sponsorships. So now on to our last story of CSGO news. And lastly, I told you all yesterday the MVP product, the Korean change over there, they picked up their 3rd lineup, one of them being an academy team with some young 16-year-olds, and now we actually have VG CyberZen, the Chinese team, arguably at least a top 3 Chinese team. They had now split off into 2 rosters themselves, one of them being VG Gaming and the other one being VG Renaissance. I'll show the pictures of those and the rosters on screen, which is in Chinese, but luckily the names you guys can tell. So now we have all these roster changes in North America, all the Swedish shuffles and the French shuffles going on right now in the CSGO scene. Add on to this the Korean changes, Koreans picking a lot of teams, and now a big Chinese change here because you're probably going to predict that we also have Tyloo changes. Tyloo's going to be your #1 predominant team here, along with like 5 Dragons, because now VG CyberZen has split into 2 organizations. So that was a really cool change for all of you. Roster-wise, we have so many changes going on after this major, post-major. What's going to happen in our next tournament when we actually see all these teams like VG CyberZen and their 2 teams and Tyloo come together finally again? We have no idea how dominant or good they will be. That's going to be it for today's episode of CSGO News. I have some great episodes of interviews as well as some CSGO News for all of you guys tomorrow, which have to do with gambling. As of right now, some personal information for all of you. I am waiting on the big gambling website to give me permission to post my big video exposing 2 big gambling websites for some large scams. So I'm waiting for them to give me confirmation. I have great videos and great announcements coming soon for all of you, so please do stay active. I'm also going to do a little giveaway, so please check out my Twitter sometime later today. We'll do some small giveaways for all of you. So as always, hope you all enjoyed this episode, this quick episode of CSGO News. Remember, I will be back here tomorrow with some great CSGO News for all of you. Until then, remember, I like you. I'll see you all then. Live, love, laugh a lot. Remember,